The role of genetics in running ability. How much does your DNA really determine? Are you naturally inclined to be a sprinter, a marathoner, or somewhere in between? Dive into the science of running genetics with us, uncover their real influence, and discover how training can help you exceed your genetic limits. Genetics undeniably play a role in determining athletic ability, influencing traits like endurance, speed, recovery, and even susceptibility to injury. But here's the good news. Your genes are not your destiny. By understanding your genetic predispositions and optimizing training and lifestyle, you can unlock your full potential as a runner. How genetics influence running ability. Muscle fiber composition. Fast twitch versus slow twitch muscle fibers. Fast twitch fibers, also known as type 2, are better for short bursts of speed, like those needed by sprinters. On the other hand, slow twitch fibers, or type 1, are built for endurance, which is essential for long-distance runners. Your proportion of each type is largely genetic, but training can influence how your body recruits and develops these fibers. VO2 Max Potential. VO2 max refers to how much oxygen your body can utilize during exercise, a key factor for endurance performance. While genetics determine your baseline potential, consistent aerobic training can improve it by 10 to 20%. Lactate Threshold. Your body's ability to manage and clear lactic acid determines how long you can sustain hard efforts. Genetics provide the baseline, but structured training, such as tempo runs and intervals, can dramatically improve this. Recovery rate. Genetic predispositions may influence how quickly your heart rate returns to normal after a hard effort. Faster recovery often correlates with higher fitness levels. Your DNA can dictate how quickly your muscles tire, but proper nutrition, hydration, and training can offset this. Pain tolerance. Runners who genetically tolerate higher levels of discomfort may be better at enduring long races, but mental toughness, honed through training, can override genetic differences. My DNA results, a personal lens on genetics and running. Here's the exciting part. These aren't just generic examples. These results are from my own DNA testing. Let me share how they relate to me, and what I've learned along the way about strengths, limitations, and how training makes all the difference. Strengths from my DNA. My results suggest I have a genetic predisposition for athletic ability, which could give me a slight advantage in areas like strength or coordination. However, without consistent training, this genetic edge won't do much for my running performance. My DNA suggests I have the ability to increase my VO2 max beyond average levels, which is fantastic for endurance running. Again, this potential can only be realized with structured aerobic training like long runs and intervals. Limitations from my DNA. My genetic profile indicates that I have an average heart rate recovery. This is a middle-of-the-road result, meaning I don't have a natural edge in bouncing back quickly after hard efforts. This is something I need to actively improve with recovery, runs, and proper rest. My genetic profile indicates I may struggle more with discomfort during tough workouts or long races. However, I've learned that building mental toughness through strategies like visualization and pacing can mitigate this limitation. What this means for me and you. While I have some strengths, they won't magically make me a better runner. without smart, intentional training. At the same time, my limitations can be managed and even overcome with targeted strategies. For example, I focus on progression runs to steadily improve recovery and lactate threshold. I prioritize mental training to push through discomfort during races or tough workouts. This balance of strengths and weaknesses is something every runner deals with. Genetics may set the stage, but what you do with them determines the performance you'll achieve. Can you overcome genetic limitations? The short answer is yes. Here's how. Muscle fiber training. Even if you're slow twitch dominant, which is better for endurance, speed drills, hill sprints, and plyometric exercises, can enhance your fast twitch fibers. VO2 Max Boost. Your starting point may be genetic, but interval training, long runs, and proper recovery can increase it over time. And the mental game, perseverance, mindset, and grit can often outweigh genetic predispositions. Environmental factors versus genetics. The role of the training environment. East African runners are a famous example. High-altitude living enhances lung capacity and oxygen use. Early exposure to running builds biomechanical efficiency. And let's not forget lifestyle factors that override genetics. Diet. A well-balanced diet, tailored to your training, like high-quality carbs, protein, and fats, can really optimize performance. Recovery practices. Foam, rolling, stretching, and sleep can mitigate genetic disadvantages in recovery or flexibility. Strength training builds resilience against injuries, regardless of genetic predisposition. The science of genetic testing for runners. DNA tests and insights. Services like Ancestry DNA, 23andMe, or DNAfit provide reports on athletic traits like VO2 max, muscle fiber composition, and recovery ability. Is it time to explore your DNA? Well, let's dive into the pros and cons. On the plus side, testing can help personalize your training plan. For instance, you could focus more on endurance or speed, depending on your results. But on the flip side, the results are often generalized and don't account for your full potential. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. Practical tips for runners of all genetic backgrounds. Train for your strengths and weaknesses. Lean into what you're naturally good at, but address weaknesses with targeted training. Focus on recovery. If you're prone to slower recovery, prioritize sleep, hydration, and mobility work. Incorporate cross-training. Swimming or cycling helps improve VO2 max without overloading your joints. Use technology. Wearable devices like Garmin or Coros can track heart rate, VO2 max, and recovery metrics to guide your training. Why mindset matters most. Hard work beats talent. Studies show that dedicated runners with average genetics can surpass naturally gifted ones who train inconsistently. Build mental resilience. Techniques like visualization, mindfulness, and goal setting can help you overcome both physical and mental barriers. The bottom line. Your genetics might give you a head start or create some obstacles, but they don't define your limits. By understanding your unique traits and crafting a training plan tailored to you, you can unlock your full running potential. Remember, your DNA is just a starting point. The finish line, that's all about how much work you're willing to put in. So, what do you think? Are you naturally built for speed or endurance? Have you ever explored your own genetic potential? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more running science and training tips.